Hey, Rob Morris here from MediaValet, and today we're going to be giving you a sneak peek at our awesome new enterprise level application for managing content for large creative teams. Creative Spaces was built to solve the challenges faced by organizations who need the benefit of a cloud-based digital asset management system to centralize, manage, and control all their digital content. But they also need to ensure that their teams have the speed and benefits of working with that content locally on their own computers. Creative Spaces seamlessly synchronizes the local files used by creatives into the cloud for other users to be able to access and share. So let's take a sneak peek at the application. Okay, so in our demo today, we're just going to be creating a little brochure. You can see I've got InDesign opened in the background here. We're going to start by opening up the Spaces application itself. Once the application opens up, we can see all of the existing projects or spaces that are currently available. For the purposes of today, though, we're going to start by creating a new project. So I'll click on New here, and it's got a default name. I'm just going to change that default name to Brochure, if I can type it correctly. Once I have saved my new space, I can then begin adding some assets to it. So you'll see I have my categories section here, and I can browse through my category library, which is exactly the same as the one that we would see on the portal. I can open up the featured assets window here, and I see all the assets held within. And just like the portal, I can click on any of these images to see a full screen preview. I can also use my arrow keys to jump left and right to the next image, so I can browse through the library to find the assets that I'm looking for. Okay, so I've found all the assets that I want to work with. Currently, these assets all live in the cloud. They're not part of my space. And I know that because I can see the little cloud icon on the bottom right here, where it says Sync Asset. If I want to use these assets locally, I can go to each of the individual assets and click on the plus sign. And doing so will then bring that asset down from the cloud onto my local storage. So I'm just going to select a few assets here to bring into my local space. This guy here, maybe this one, and this one as well. So we're just going to bring a few of these down to work with on my own space. Now, if I click on the current space icon, you'll see my assets are ready for me to start using. So I can just move this over to the right a little bit here, and I'm going to drag and drop these assets into InDesign. So I just need to click on the asset here, and I can drag it across, and you'll see that it instantly just becomes available within the InDesign file itself. Now, as we saw, this is a local file, so I can actually look under the links section here, and I can see exactly where this file is stored in my local workspace. And if I want to, I can open up that file storage, and I can see my workspace. Now you'll see that your DAM library is actually replicated on the network store. So you should be pretty familiar with this structure. It's the same as you would have in the portal. And I can open up the featured assets section here, and I can see all of the assets that have been synchronized on my network storage. Okay, let's just jump back to the InDesign process here. Now I'm going to use search here. So I'm going to click on the search assets button, and my search box pops up. And I'm going to try and grab a logo because I want to pop a logo into the top. So my logo's here, and I can see it's got a little tick box, which means someone has already synced this asset. So some other creative is already using this, so I can just drag and drop it in here. I don't even need to click on the plus sign. It's already available for me. And I'm just going to drag this in right up the top here. Okay, so let's say now that I want to make a change to this original asset. I don't like the particular way that the filter has been applied, so I'm going to open this up in Photoshop and make some changes to the original. So I'm just going to click here and go into Edit with Photoshop. And I'm not a Photoshop whiz by any stretch, but let's just make some changes to the vibrance, maybe just adjust saturation a little bit. Move that down a bit. Perfect. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I am going to save this, and it's going to update my asset directly on the file store. So I'm just going to click on Save here, adjust the image file size, and click OK. So what's happening behind the scenes there is that we've just saved and replaced the existing file on our server. Now that will also synchronize with our cloud-based storage. So anybody who's accessing that file from the cloud will have access to the latest changes that I've just made. So we've basically created a new version of an existing file. Alternatively, I could have chosen to save as. And save as would allow me to then pick exactly where I wanted to save this file within the network file storage. So which particular category or location I want to save this asset into. And then when I save that, it would then again be synchronized with the cloud so other users will be able to access it from that particular location. We recommend if you are going to be making changes to assets that you do actually create a new folder within the network store, which will translate into a new category within the MediaValet DAM portal, and that way you can save all of your new assets in that location rather than overwriting or updating existing assets. Okay, so my masterpiece is pretty much complete here. My brochure is ready to go, so I am going to save this brochure. So I'm just going to click on the file menu here and click Save As. Now you can see, I'm just going to expand this for you a little bit here. You can see that I am currently in my featured assets section here, and I'm just going to give this an appropriate name, maybe something like brochure, and then put maybe the week number on there as well, just to make it clear what this is. And I'm going to click on the Save button down the bottom here, and that's going to save this asset into that particular location within the library. So now I've saved my file, I can actually go back into Spaces and I can browse my assets. And you'll see here, if I navigate my way over to the location where this is stored in the library, so I'm just going to open up library here and jump into the featured assets folder, then you'll see right there at the top of the list is the brochure which we just created. So that means it's been added to our network storage. It's also been synchronized into our DAM. So anybody accessing MediaValet either from some other part of the globe, distributed anywhere, they can go in there and immediately access that asset that I've just created essentially locally on my PC or my Mac. Okay, that's it. That's all we're going to be showing you for today in this sneak peek. I hope you've enjoyed it and we've whet your appetite. If you'd like to learn more, check out www.mediavalet.com and we'd love to chat to you more about all the things we can do with this awesome tool. Thanks for your time today.